What is a public adjuster? According to NAPIA, the National Association of Public Insurance Adjusters, public adjusters are experts on property loss adjustment who are retained by policyholders to assist in preparing, filing, and adjusting insurance claims. Employed exclusively by a policyholder who has sustained an insurance loss, these professionals manage every detail of the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and prompt settlement possible. A public adjuster inspects the loss site immediately, analyzes the damages, assembles claim support data, reviews the insured's coverage, determines current replacement costs, and exclusively serves the client, not the insurance company. That sounds well and good, but my carrier is sending their own adjuster. I'm going to give them a chance to make things right. Well, different claims have different levels of damage. But for example, for a fire loss, the carrier will send their own fire investigator, even though your local fire department or fire marshal likely investigated the fire. We found that often they will accuse policyholders of wrongdoing, regardless of any evidence, just to see if they can secure a quick confession. The carrier will also send a mitigation company to board up and secure the structure and perform any necessary dry out from firefighting efforts. They'll send an adjuster to write an estimate for repair costs. They'll possibly send another adjuster to write an estimate for personal property and contents. They might send a separate independent content specialist to document, clean, and dispose unsalvageable contents. If you're lucky, they'll send out an industrial hygienist right away to test for smoke, soot, mold, and other hazards to health and safety. They'll also probably send an engineer to examine various fire damages. Often, the engineer is hired to rubber stamp the carrier's findings. And they'll probably try to send a preferred contractor to offer repair services to policyholders. In addition to all those specialists, they also often hire additional living expense specialists, also known as ALE specialists, to find alternative housing for policyholders. They might also involve attorneys. They're probably not going to send them to the loss right away, but at some point they might get their attorneys involved. And then they also might hire outside claims specialists and estimators. So who do you have working for you? If you haven't hired anyone to fight on your behalf, what is your expertise with the subjects of repair, construction, and estimating? The effects of damage to structures and different building materials. Health and safety hazards associated with your type of loss, such as smoke and soot, mold, asbestos, lead paint, etc. Restoration of contents, cleaning procedures, structural, mechanical, and electrical systems, damage to your HVAC system, and also contamination to your ductwork and HVAC system, policy coverage and interpretation, statutory deadlines for coverage, depreciation release, suits against carriers, completion of proof of loss forms. Are you prepared to learn all of the above subjects while being displaced from your home, continuing to work your regular job, working to replace damaged personal property items, interviewing and vetting contractors, and attending to your family that is dealing with the psychological distress of the claim? And if you're able to learn all of those necessary subjects, will you learn them as well as the professionals hired by the carrier that work on these issues on a day-to-day basis as part of their profession? If you're like most people, you're starting to understand the daunting task of handling your insurance claim. Here's why policyholders hire public adjusters. They give general guidance during the stressful claims process. They also have access to proven experts to help document the claim and work for fair settlement, such as ALE vendors to help placement in appropriate temporary housing, contractors capable of mitigation and restoration and doing the job properly, not cutting corners to help carriers save money, industrial hygienists to ensure health and safety, master electricians and electrical engineers to properly inspect and diagnose electrical issues, independent structural engineers to inspect and test for breaches in structural integrity and damaged structures, mechanical engineers, and plumbing experts to diagnose any breaches in plumbing or damage to HVAC and other mechanical systems. Proper and knowledgeable estimating procedures to ensure quality work. And also attorneys and other professionals for legal guidance and strategy. Public adjusters are also seasoned in overcoming and navigating past uncooperative and combative insurance adjusters and other carrier personnel. But I know my carrier, they won't do me wrong. Maybe, but do me a favor. Do some research into your carrier. Read reviews at truly independent consumer review websites like bbb.org, trustpilot.com, the NAIC Complaint Index, and Consumer Affairs, for example. Read the actual reviews, not just the grade or star rating. Especially read the reviews from people who actually had claims, not just people rating the carrier on the ease of use of their website, for example. When you read the actual reviews from policyholders reporting claims experiences, they're consistently bad. Just because the carrier is nice to you when they take your money every month doesn't mean they'll be nice to you when it's time to pay you when you have a claim. A claim professional who works on insurance claims every day will help you navigate the minefield that you'll be crossing when you file a property insurance claim. Yes, review sites can be skewed towards the negative because people are more likely to write negative reviews than positive reviews. But read the individual claims experiences and put yourself in the reviewer's position. How will you take it if you have a similar experience? How will you cope? Hey, like I said, I'm going to give them a shot. There are plenty of people who have good experiences when they file claims. If things go badly, then I'll give a public adjuster or an attorney a call. We respect your choice 100% and understand where you're coming from. On the surface, it's a reasonable position. Please understand that once a claim goes badly, while it's absolutely possible to fix it, it will take more time and effort. It's harder work that takes more time. A claims professional is likely to charge a higher rate than if the claims professional could have managed the claims process from the beginning. We have found that our own customers are more satisfied when they hire us from the start as opposed to hiring us to fix a problem claim. Without question, we come to a settlement more quickly when we can work on a claim from the start. And more often than not, our overall fee is actually lower. Okay, you're still not 100% on board with hiring a public adjuster from the get-go. That's totally fine, and we're here to help you if and when you need our services in the future. While you're handling your claim, keep these red flags in the back of your mind as your claim progresses. The adjuster takes limited cell phone photos as opposed to taking a lot of photos with higher quality camera equipment. That's a problem. To properly document a loss, you need thousands of good quality photos with a high quality camera. A fire investigator or cause of loss investigator accuses you or insinuates that you deliberately caused the loss. The carrier adjuster inspects for a short period of time. Times can vary depending on the damage, but less than 4 hours on a fire loss is not enough. The adjuster makes a promise and later breaks it. If that happens once, it will happen over and over again. The adjuster is a low-level or mid-level claims person. They're in over their head. You need a proper large loss adjuster for larger claims like fire losses. Ask the adjuster if they'll match your undamaged materials. Do you want mismatched kitchen cabinets or countertops? Or mismatched flooring? Ask about having your additional living expenses, commonly referred to as ALE, cover temporary living in a dwelling that is the same size as yours and in a similar location. If they want you in a hotel or small apartment, then they're not giving you what you paid for in your policy. Or the adjuster pressures you to sign a lease in a situation that you're not comfortable with. The adjuster is responsive at the very beginning and then stops returning calls, emails, and other contact in a timely manner. Unfortunately, that's not going to get better. Or they hire an expert, such as an engineer, contractor, or independent claims consultant, to inspect obvious damage. If the damage is obvious and they need an expert, that's a sure sign that they're trying to deny coverage for that item. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video and educate yourself about what public adjusters are and what they do.